Hello everyone. In this session, we are going to discuss about the project which I told that okay, we will be covering throughout the session. So actually here we are going to develop a three-tier application. When I say three-tier application, we will be having a front end. For front end purpose, we will be using WordPress containers. Okay. Then we need a database. So DB we will be using MariaDB. Okay. And to manage the MariaDB, we will be using a PHP admin containers. So all these containers are already published. We will be using the official images and performing the things. So first of all, uh, as I told, we will be having a Kubernetes cluster. So Kubernetes cluster is already created. Now, when you assign a Kubernetes cluster, first thing is that, okay, these all application must, if I am working in a large organization, it must be created under the namespace. So first thing you will be creating the namespace. So you guys will create the namespace. Inside the namespace, it can be in same namespace across namespace. Currently, the scenario which I am covering it is the same namespace which we will be using it. Now we know that okay, DB is something, database is something which require which we need to map the data. Okay, they require the persistency. So we need to create the PV and PVC for the DB. Okay. Similarly, database is an application which requires the secrets as well. Because how I will connect the database using the secrets. So the secret parts also will be coming there. Coming to the point, PHP admin. PHP admin also has to connect to the DB. So they PHP admin will be using the DB secret and communicating it. Okay. So DB secret will be provided to PHP admin app. Similarly, WordPress also has to communicate to the DB. So DB secret app will be provided here. PHP admin, we need to have some persistency there also required for the application. Okay, holding the PHP pages and other things. So PV, PVC we will be using there as well. So this is the setup which we will be creating it. Now let's go with the flow, how the flow will be. First thing which you will create it, you will be creating the namespace, because before, without creating the namespace, I cannot go and provision the pod and other things. Second thing which you will be creating it, you will be creating the secrets, because the application, when the, as I mentioned in the secret sections, when I covered the chapter on the secrets, I told that secrets or config map, they will be used when the pods are starting it up. Once the pod is created and containers are running, I cannot go and modify the secret and config map. So you need to go and create the secrets first. Okay. We need to map the storage as well. So we will be creating the PV PVC as well first before containers comes up. Then we will know that okay, the first application where the front end will be connecting it is a DB application. So DB containers we will be spawning it up, but we want that okay, it should be a multiple replicas. If currently we will run one replica, so we will be using deployment. That is the easiest way to do that thing. So we will be launching the deployment. In the deployment, I initially will maintain the one replica, but later on you can change it. Okay. And since we are using replica and other things for networking purpose, we will be creating the services for that. Similarly, once DB is created, then we will be creating the PHP admin, and same thing, we will do the deployment and create the service for that. When DB wants to connect, PHP admin wants to connect the DB, it will be connecting to the DB service. Okay. Similarly, last point is WordPress. Same thing we will do for the WordPress. We will be creating the deployment and service. So ultimately, we have uh, object which we are creating it here is namespace, secret, PV, PVC, deployment, services. All this component we are going to use it and create our project. Again, the for flow purpose, I'll show you. PHP will be connecting to the DB admin. WordPress also will be connecting to the DB secret. I will be WordPress. Definitely, we need to go and launch our WordPress website. So WordPress will be having a front end. It will be using node port type service. PHP admin, choice is yours, but I will say that okay, since you need to map the database or you may need to manage the database, PHP admin also, I'll suggest use the node port, because through that only you will be connecting it. DB internal service only. So DB will be only creating the cluster type resources, cluster service type resource. We will not create the node port and other things. Okay, so this is the project which we are going to create it, and now we'll see how these components will be working together. Okay, so let's start with the project and see how it will be working it out. So I already have things created in my Git repo. I will be sharing my GitHub repository link to see that okay how things has been designed and other things. So I'll just go to my GitHub repo. Just give me a second. This is my GitHub repo. Here you can see this is three-tier Kubernetes project. So first I will be creating the namespace. Then I will be creating the PVPVC for DB and PVPVC for WordPress. Then I will be creating the DB deployment and service and other things. Then WordPress and Phpadmin. Okay, let's go and do the git clone to my repository. So I will be able to show you the YAML file how I'm creating it. So first I'll go and do the git clone and do the project starting. Okay, the project is copied, three-tier Kubernetes project. Okay, so first is I told we will create the namespace. So this is the namespace.yaml, but namespace name is WordPress. Okay, so I'll just go and create it. Create namespace WordPress. Okay, sorry. kubectl create name is create hyphen app WordPress.yaml. W namespace.yaml. Okay, the WordPress is created. I'll show you kubectl get all hyphen and WordPress. Nothing will be there, everything is blank. Okay, now I'll go and create, as I mentioned, we will be creating the secret first. So I'll just go and create the curate secret. Okay, inside the same namespace only, create hyphen f, sorry, secret.yaml. So in the same namespace it is created. I'll just go and describe it, kubectl describe secret and WordPress, because it is created under the WordPress namespace. You can see it. It has created the secret. You can see MySQL database is there, MySQL password is there, root password and username. All this thing has been provided. Now we will be creating the PVPVC. Okay, create hyphen f PV pvc.yaml, and then same thing kubectl create hyphen f PVPVC for WordPress. Also I am creating it for mapping the PHP pages and other things. That's all is requirement. Okay, so now I have created a lot of resources. I'll just show you under the WordPress resources are created. Okay, get all hyphen n get secrets hyphen n WordPress. Okay, so you can see all the things has been created here. Okay, now let's go and start creating the resources. So first what we will create it, we will create the DB. Okay, DB and DB service we will be creating it. So I'll just show you get svc hyphen n WordPress. You will be able to see that DB service is created and it has node port type service, cluster IP type service, not the node port. Okay, and I'll just show kubectl get ep hyphen n WordPress. So DB is ready, then it will show you endpoint here. Currently DB is not ready. Kubectl get pods hyphen n WordPress. If I do it, I will be able to see that okay, it's still creating it. So once it is created it, we are good to go. Okay, it is created now. It is running. Okay. So see here, the pod is running there, IP is there, this thing is there. Okay. So it is, if I want to call this particular pod, I will be using this name of the service. Okay. Let's go and see PHP admin, this thing. See, everything is same, but when it wants to connect to the DB, when it's a PHP admin wants to connect to the DB, we are providing the secret here. See, here secrets is coming. I'm using the root credential to connect it, and as well as when the PHP admin service, okay, when the, sorry, not PHP admin service, then PHP admin, how will it call the DB, correct? So here you can see it, host is coming. This is the name of my DB service. This is the name of my DB service. I am passing it out here. So inside the container, the value will be defined. And when it wants to container application wants to connect it, this is the DB service. This is not the pod name or container name. Here you can see it kubectl get svc. If I do it, It is name of my DB application which whom I am creating it. Okay. So I'll just say create hyphen f php dev svc.yaml. Okay. So if everything is properly connected and everything is properly done, then you will be able to see that okay, PHP admin, if I will go and open it, it will be able to connect to the using this 30081 port node port number. I will be able to map to my DB thing. Okay. I will be able to use the secret and login. So secret is I should be able to log in using root and the password is as well. Okay. So that should be allowed if everything is properly configured. Last thing is deploying the WordPress. Again, I will show you the WordPress YAML file. Okay. Here also you can see it. I have clearly mentioned the DB host name here. You can see this one is DB hostname, like DB hostname in the sense DB service name we are providing it. Through that we are creating connecting it. Okay. Let's go and create the WordPress as well. Press.yml. So all the components are created. Okay. And I'll just show you get all hyphen and WordPress. Hopefully it should show you all the components are created. And the port number 30081, if I connect it, it will be connecting to PHP my admin page. Through that, I will be able to map the DB and perform the activity. If I want to connect to WordPress, I will give 30080 port number. Let's try it out. Okay. Let's open the console here and try 192, 168 and just give the 3008081. Okay. So it should open. See PHP admin. If at all username and password is working, then I am able to connect to my database. See here you can see that I am able to connect my database. So this is the integration has done. So here what we did it, we have created deployment service for PHP as well, deployment service for database as well. But when PHP admin container wants to communicate to the DB, we have mentioned in the PHP admin what is a database name, service name, and through that it is connecting it. So it means cluster IP type is working. Now let me go and show you 30081 as well. 80, sorry, this is 81, this is 80. So it should launch the WordPress as well. Let's see WordPress container is running or not. It is running or not. It is running. So it will open the WordPress. See here, this WordPress page is open. And you can see here I have launched the complete 3-tier application where WordPress is connected to the DB and I can manage the DB from the PHP admin. So this is the multi-tier application inside the WordPress namespace. So in this scenario, we have used this YAML files and done the job. Again, for summarizing the things, when you discuss, when you go and present yourself, you should know that, okay, how Kubernetes resources has been used. So here, sequence is also important. Like we have created the namespace, then created the secret PVC, and then we are deploying the app. When we are deploying the app also, workload API, we have used deployment. You can use deployment, you can use replica set, replication controller. And through the service, we are communicating because the identity of the pod can be changed. And now when the things are created like secret and PVC is required before the DB application comes up. So all the sequence must be orderly performed. And that's where our new concept come, which is through Helm chart we control it, or through Argo CD we can decide the sequence. So sequence must be decided how the each of the YAML file should be executed. I cannot directly go and create the secret before I go and use the namespace, or maybe I cannot go and deploy this deployment.yaml if the secret and PVC is not created. So all this chapter which I covered it, I have tried to use all the YAML file and try to create a full-fledged application which is can be presented that okay how we have developed the microservice architecture using containerization and Kubernetes. Thanks for joining the whole session, guys. As per your feedback, I will be keep on adding the sessions here. So next target will be little bit advanced in this session only. We will go ahead and add the advanced things such as ingress controllers, different type of services and other things. So later on I will be adding it. Currently I will be concluding this whole session. Thanks for joining and please provide your feedback and drop a mail if you have any issue at amit@openwriteup.com. Thank you.